Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Stargirl Season 2. I have no idea what episode this is. I've lost track because I hate how the CW has ruined Stargirl, one of my favorite superhero shows, if not my favorite as of right now. But anyway, so this episode is mixed for me. I like certain elements I didn't. The elements I love with the flashbacks with the original JSA. I love seeing those dudes in their old school outfits. Like that was just so cool, you know what I'm saying? And I love how they acted the way they're supposed to, like from the comics. Like Wildcat, he had that attitude to him, and I love that. That's how he is in the comics. I love the way how they talk to Pat. How they're like, you're just a sidekick, you don't get a vote, you don't get this. Old school sidekick comic like stuff, you know what I'm saying, from back in the older comics. Of when Batman slapped and stuff. And it's just like, that's how them superheroes used to treat their sidekicks like crap back in the day. That's why so many sidekicks don't like being called sidekicks, like being called partners now. And so like that stuff I like. The stuff I didn't like was with the family. Look, this is a superhero show. It's a show about Stargirl and the JSA. I don't need to see the family this much. Have them pop in and out, say this and that, that's fine. But they don't need an entire episode devoted to them and having Eclipso play with their minds. Why? Why are they important to the show? They're not important to the show. I don't care if Mike wants to be a superhero. I don't care for Mike. The mom, I wish they would have changed it to where the mom never knew who the JSA and stuff were and stuff. So I didn't need to see what purpose does that serve other than messing with Courtney, who he doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. She likes her family, and she what is it and so messing with the family, of course, is gonna mess with her. But still, he already messed with her friends. Why don't he just mess with her? But he's scared of her because of that staff. Because Eclipso's main weakness is light. That's how it's always been. Even and that's how it was in Justice League when those snake people worshipped him. They was affected by the light. However, they're affected by ordinary everyday light. So I don't understand why this Eclipso is able to walk around during the daytime and stuff when he's that little kid form. So like, unless he's using a hallucination to show his astral project himself somewhere. So I don't know yet. But yeah, so Mike isn't mentally strong enough to withhold Eclipso's little mind control stuff, which they use both the Icicle Senior and Junior. Because, pretend Junior is, or hallucinating Junior is pissed at, Mike for running and killing his dad. And so I'd rather for them to, if they're gonna do that, I'd rather for them to have like an episode where, like, kind of like Yolanda, like, Mike is really like distraught for killing what's his face. They showed it a little bit in this one episode, but not much. He just seems to be okay with it for the most part. He went on his everyday life. Yolanda was mortified by it, you know what I'm saying, about who she killed and stuff. And so Mike was upset in that one episode for barely briefly. So it's like they're trying to make him into a main character. Okay, we'll give him more like depth to why he's upset about killing that dude. So he's not strong enough to withstand the mind control. So Courtney has to help him, and she places his hand on the staff, and the light like illuminates. Now, one other weakness I've noticed Eclipso has is that if you're in his nightmare dream state, hallucination, if somebody from the outside world can call and talk to you and shout at you loud enough, you'll snap out of it. And that's what's been happening these last couple of episodes. Every time somebody's in that dream state, somebody's always shouting at them and constantly shouting at them, and it breaks their concentration on their because once they're in that dream state, that's all they concentrate on. So when they hearing the outside voice, they're able to break free. Mike was not able to do that, which is why Mike does not need to be a hero. The mom, on the other hand, the shade is able to call out to her and disrupt her thinking to where she's able to break the mind control stuff. And Shade doesn't really show up. He just mystifies a little bit, and maybe he doesn't even show his face, and he mystifies out. He must be still weak. Also, he shouldn't be using his powers around Eclipso, because Eclipso's all about that darkness, and Shade's all about that darkness. So his power is going to just feed off him, you know? That's why he didn't want to stay there for too long. And so, like, the mom is able to break free and everything, and she's able to get out of, like, harm's way. Now, Courtney is pissed when she finds out a revelation that Pat tells her. The flashback stuff, like I said, loved every single last bit of it. I just loved it. And I wish they would, but I wish they would have devoted the entire episode to the flashback because they come to a vote that they are going to kill the host of Eclipse. So that's the only way to get rid of him. So Pat doesn't want to do that. He's only I forgot to talk about the Flash. Jay Garrett shows up, and it's the one from the actual Arrowverse, the one that always on the Flash TV show. Wesley Snipes, I think that's his name. And so, but because this kind of bugs me a little bit. In one way, I am happy he's there, because who doesn't love the dude, you know what I'm saying? But in another way, I kind of wish they would have had their own person. This to show further that this universe is its own thing. Now they're starting to connect it to where, okay, well, this Jay Garrett acts like the Jay Garrett from the Flash show. That's from, I think, what was it, Earth 2 or something like that? And this Jay Garrett's wearing the exact same outfit that Earth 2 wears. Only reason why they did that, because they didn't have time to get him a new costume. So I'm going to assume this is the Jay Garrett from Earth 2. So is Stargirl on Earth 2? Can't be, because I think that got like retconned and merged into like one big universe when they did the Crisis thing. So, but of course, people wear the same outfits in other dimensions. But you know, this is the one Cisco personally made for him and stuff. So I don't know. So that's why it kind of bugs me a little bit. You know, I just wish they would have hurried up and made him. All they had to do was this. All they had to do was get him blue jeans, a red shirt with a lightning bolt, and then he already had the helmet thing. That's all they had to do. They didn't have to go fancy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Pat and Jay, they voted to not kill what's his name, but the other three members voted to kill. And so Starman tells, you know, Pat, you know, go get the car. And he's all like, no, I voted no. And I love that emotion to it, because the dude who plays Pat, he's not exactly my favorite, like, actor and stuff. Like, sometimes his acting is okay, and sometimes it's just kind of like off-putting, you know what I'm saying? But I really like this in this episode. He's like, no, you know, I voted no. And Starman lets him know straight up, you know, I am the hero and you are the sidekick. Which I remember. Okay, here's the thing. Pat's supposed to be older than Starman. They don't really look that different in age. They look the same. So it's kind of hard to tell that, you know, Starman's supposed to be younger. But oh well. So anyway, they kill the host of Eclipso off screen. And in some ways I wanted to see it, in some ways I didn't. See, both ways have a both emotional Pat, but which one's the most emotion you get from it? When we see it off screen and we see Pat go to when we see Starman go to the car with Pat, he's sad and depressed because he knows he did what he did not really want to do. That's kill somebody. So that has an emotional gravitas to that. But it would have been nice to see the actual battle. Now, if we saw the actual battle, then we will see how much the team had to struggle with having to kill an innocent person. Some members were all cool for it, like Wildcat, and other members were not, but they had to do what they had to do. So that would have had a bigger emotional toll. So when Pat tells Courtney this, she's furious. And I'm thinking to myself, how can she be mad? Because of the following reasons. One, when Yolanda killed Brainwave, Courtney didn't care. Like, she was just okay with it. And so, I mean, she was a little upset, but she was totally okay with it. And she hid that secret from her by T. Then Rick said he would have killed Brainwave if given the chance. And she was okay with that. And she seemed kind of okay when Yolanda said, you know, she's probably going to have to kill Eclipso and stuff like that. And so, like, she just seems to be, like, you know, okay with everything. When it comes to killing. And not only that, but she's lied and held that secret. So she was okay with that. So it seems very hypocritical of her to be pissed at Pat and her mom for knowing this secret. And so it's kind of, but the real main true reason why she's upset, which is the most touching thing ever. I think it's because she's finally now is starting to look at Pat as her real father. He's her stepdad. Cause when it started off, she didn't like him. Cause it was just her and her mom for the longest time. Cause her dad ran off and stuff. And then Pat comes in. She doesn't like the whole stepdad thing. But then as time grew and they both became heroes side by side, she started to like warm up to him. And now she looks at him as the father figure. And when she told him, cause you get her, yeah, listen to what she said. She said, they promised no more secrets between each other. And he kept that from her. And so after she revealed her secret, she said no more secrets and stuff, and he broke that pact. So it's just like that's what really hurt her the most is that her dad lied to her. And not only that, but her mom, her family lied to her. And so, but she's still a little hypocritical, but I get why she's upset, but she's still a hypocrite. And so, like, somebody else she healed in this, I forgot. Who did she heal? Because she put the staff on somebody else's hand and healed them. I forgot who it was. Was it Pat? Was he being affected? I can't remember. So anyway. So the question is, how are they gonna get rid of Eclipso? Pat tells her the only way to do it is to kill the host. So far, this Eclipso doesn't seem to have no host body, unless it's that little kid. So I guess the little kid must not be a hallucination. It must be the actual kid body he took possession of and stuff. So of course they're gonna have to kill that little kid, which that they're not gonna do. They're not even gonna do that on TV. Like trust me, they're gonna find another way. It's gonna be the staff and stuff. So, but however, a lot of people are seeming to forget that Yolanda's brother in the comic books is also another version of Eclipso. I think he's like the second or third one in the comics. And so people assume maybe he'll turn into Eclipso, but they only showed him one time in the first season, and that was that. So really there's no telling what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But I think they only have like a couple of episodes left, so they need to figure something out. But in the next week's episode, they know the staff needs to be charged up, and the staff is their only defense against Eclipso. So they're bringing back, I think her name is Jade, who is the Green Lantern. Oh, she comes back. I thought she was going to be on a one-time deal since they got rid of her after that episode. Oh, it's so becoming the CW, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they bring in all these people, then they get rid of them, then they bring them back, and it's just like, ugh. It would have been made more sense if she would have joined the team, but oh no, her powers are too much money for the budget that they have on the show. And what about the Thunderbolt dude? Is he ever going to come back? Oh, this show. And then they mentioned that Rick is in jail for beating up his uncle. So we're going to see a little bit of that next episode. Beth doesn't show up whatsoever. But I know Beth and her are still cool. I think Beth shows up in the next episode because she's the only person still a member of that team, you know. Yolanda still hasn't been seen. And it's just kind of weird that Yolanda hasn't even been seen since that one episode. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm assuming the actress must be on another project or something. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I still felt this episode should have focused more on the flashbacks. That would have been nice to see. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.